Right, well, Gina, familiar face coming up against you this weekend. Second pro fight, same opponent. What do you make of how things have worked out in that sense?
With it being the same opponent? Oh, I mean, preferably it would have been really cool to fight a new opponent before fighting this opponent again. But it's all good. Fight's a fight. I don't really care if it's the same girl or not the same girl. Just give me another fight. That's it. I feel all good.
You made your debut on that Eternal card late last year. You know, you've been fighting for a long time in different sports, but to make that MMA debut, was there any sort of different feeling about getting that done?
Like with it being the first pro MMA and that aspect? Nah, for me every fight's like the same in a sense, like whether it's my professional debut in MMA or whether it's boxing or jiu-jitsu, whatever, same to me. We go in to win. It's not like extra pressure on me, if that's what you mean, like with it being my debut at that time. Not at all.
I guess that's a little bit different for a lot of fighters going into the debut. You know, they might feel that pressure. For yourself, having a lot of experience in boxing and kickboxing, I guess that works in your favor.
Yeah, well, I'm a scrapper. Like, I just love to fight. So it's the whole like context behind it of being like, okay, this is your debut, or this is like a title fight or whatever. It's a fight for me that I enter them all the same.
Fun fight that first time around. You came away with a split decision, very boxing dominated. Are you expecting something similar, or do you think Jamie might try and change tack a little bit to pick something else up?
I think her side will, I guess, make some adjustments to their game because they'll go off the last fight, and her coaches will have a look and see what they need to adjust. But I believe it'll be the same result as the last fight, but it'll be a totally different fight. You know, so yeah.
Different promotion on
different
XFC
promotion as well.
This weekend.
Yeah, it's really cool. This is my first time fighting on XFC, so that's really dope. Yeah, I'm excited.
Do you expect anything different, or do most of these promotions sort of run the same ship?
Man, I'm newish to the MMA promotions and like how they all run and stuff. Eternal were amazing. I was like, oh, they were really good how they handled everything, and XFC's been great so far. So I'm excited to see what their promotion is like once I get there, and how they run the production side of things. Like, yeah.
We're seeing a lot more women's fights on these cards more consistently now. Is that just a case of more women making the jump from other combat sports to MMA, or is it kind of a combination of that and just more people being involved in the sport?
I think there's a little bit of a combination. Like, I do believe there's a lot more women transitioning into MMA now, whether it be from jiu-jitsu backgrounds or striking backgrounds like myself, coming in from boxing or kickboxing. But there's chicks out there that are like really banging and they're putting on good shows, and I think that's why now we're getting a lot more females. We're at least having a female on every card, you know, and you're even having females headline fights now and be the main event. So I think it's only going to get bigger and better for the females in MMA, and I think the girls are just beginning. I think the girls are just starting, yeah.
And for yourself, for people who might not be as familiar with your background, could you just tell us a little bit about how you got started in fighting and what you've been doing lately?
Yeah. I did a little bit of Muay Thai when I was younger, like with one of my brothers, and I probably did it for a year, but I didn't compete. So my mum wouldn't let me compete, but she let my brother compete. And so I like lost interest in that way after a year, and it wasn't until after I had my 5th baby. So I'd already had the other kids, and then I had the last one, and I was like, I couldn't lose my baby weight, and so I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna go to a ladies boxing class or whatever, and just enjoyed it, lost weight, and I just stuck at it, and then I started to fight. So that's where it began, trying to get off baby weight.
I guess you just touched on it there. You're a mother of 5. Like,
yeah.
How do you find the time to do all the training that's needed to be a professional athlete?
It's easier now that my kids are getting a bit older. So my youngest, she'll be 12 actually when I fight. She turns 12 on the 27th of this month, and my eldest is 18. So when I've been fighting over 10 years now. So when I started, my baby was only like 1 and a bit, and then I had, you know, 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and then a 5 and 6-year-old. So that was hectic. I had to bring them to all my boxing trainings. They had to sit in the car on the side of the road while I did my sprints and stuff. And so it was a lot more hectic, but I wanted it so bad that I made it work. Where now it's a lot more enjoyable. It's not as still stressful and still a little bit chaotic, but not as much. They're a lot more independent. They don't have to come to the gym now and wait for months. So it's a lot better, yeah, easier.
Have they got in the bug at all yet?
Yeah, my little girl, my youngest girl, she'll be one to look out for in a couple of years, I reckon. And my middle boy, he's taken a interest in kickboxing, so I'll probably start to like introduce them into the gym sometime this year. Just after I get a couple of things I need to get done, and then I'll start bringing them in and see how they go. Yeah, I do a little training for them at home, but it's a bit different.
How do they, I guess, respond when you're going into a fight or preparing for a fight? What's the kind of support like from them?
Oh, nah, my kids are down, eh? They enjoy it. Especially my youngest girl. She's super supportive. Like I sit the kids down now. They're a bit older. Like when I find out that I have a fight coming up, I'll sit them down and be like, "Mum, starting camp." Because if anyone's been in a camp, you can be a little like itchy, a bit tense. When you start cutting your foods and things like that. So I usually sit them down and just be like, I'm starting my water load or something, and they'll be super helpful and behave a little better for me, help me prep my food. Yeah, they're all hands on deck.
Excellent. And I guess just going back to the fight, I asked about what Jamie might change for yourself. Like, what do you feel like you want to show in this fight that you might not have had a chance to do in Ella?
I the last fight I feel like I stayed safe. I just played it safe and played it smart. I didn't really need to show my full skill set, but I'm looking forward to being able to show a couple of other tools that I have in this fight, like Mama can play on the ground too. We don't just stand and bang. So you might see a couple of surprises in this fight, which I'm looking forward to. And see how it goes.
And I guess just on the ground, Craig Jones has been around the building the last couple
Craig
of weeks.
Jones!
How's that been learning from
The
one of the best?
Juju man himself. Nah, it's been cool as. It's been actually super, super cool. He's been with us for a few weeks now, so teaching us some new tricks and yeah.
I guess just lastly, I know you got pads with Eugene that I'm holding you up from. What can people who haven't seen you fight before expect if they tune in on Saturday night?
What can people that haven't watched me fight before expect? Fireworks. we come to bang, so if you want to watch a good scrap, tune in.
Sweet.